Okay. Hello, everybody. And today I have the wonderful Beryl Comar, and we're going to be discussing the broken heart cure. And this is something that I learned from Beryl, I don't know, probably about 4 years ago, and I have used it multiple times. And it works. It's fabulous. It works. I've had so many clients who just literally come in sobbing, crying their eyes out. I have done this broken. I go, I know exactly what I can do for you. I have used the broken heart cure, and they leave my office so much better than when they arrived. And it works. So, Beryl, I love all the backstories that you have about this. Are you happy to share this with everybody today? Because it's fascinating how you came about the broken heart cure. Please share.
I mean, sharing about my own broken hearts in my young days, plenty of those. But then I think I even it out by breaking a few too. Well, how it happened was I was working in Dubai. I was the only hypnotherapist in the whole region, actually, the Arab region. And there was a new airline in town, and all the girls were arriving, pretty young girls, etc. And they're all told, "Oh, don't date the Arabs. Don't date the Arabs because they're going to marry their cousins. They're going to, they're charming, but don't date them because you'll only get a broken heart." Well, one day she's at the mall, lots of shopping, whatever, waiting for a taxi, and somebody says, "Oh, I'll give you a lift," and he's very charming, opens the door for her, takes her luggage up to her door, really charming. Oh my gosh, she thinks this is wonderful. Asks if he can see her again. So she does. You've got to bear in mind that these gorgeous honey-colored Arabs, I mean, they are so charming, and they so well look after themselves. And their sisters need chaperones, so they teach their brothers the P's and Q's of opening the doors and passing things to ladies and walking on the outside and things like that. So they're well trained by their sisters, okay? And then, he starts taking her out or bringing food. Often it's bringing food in, especially if she's sick or on her own, etc. Just being there. And of course, she's madly in love or in lust or whatever, okay? And then once the hook's in, now sometimes she comes off her flight, and although he's sent texts of love, etc., he's not around, or he's busy, or Friday he's with my parents, or whatever, the family comes first sort of thing, and she's left alone. And her friends start telling her, "Well, I think I saw him with someone. Oh, I think he's going out with Susie as well. Oh, no. Now she's got the dreaded disease, MMID, which is specific to the region. My Mansour is different, MMID. Yeah? No. Well, he's going to marry his cousin. No, he wouldn't do that. No, he wouldn't do that. And then maybe she even finds that he does marry his cousin, but it's only because the family insists. So he keeps you on, promising you'll be the second wife, but you're not, because you won't be accepted because you're a foreigner, etc., etc. Now, these girls would come, they'd be brought by their friends to, they can't get on their flights. They just can't function because they're crying. They can't believe what's happening. And what they're doing in NLP terms is they're looking at, as my granny used to say, through rose-tinted glasses. They're seeing only the good things, only the wonderful things. They're not seeing all these terrible times where she was let down, he'd said, and he'd come and didn't. Fridays alone, coming off flights, and he wasn't there. She's only remembering the good times because, all the senses and submodalities of that are right in front of her, and she's remembering that, and the promises and the words that were so sweet and so nice compared to other people that she knows. So, is she ready? If she's ready to let go of that and to treat herself well, in other words, the self-awareness and a good pre-talk, there's an awful lot we could do. So they're cabin crew, and they're flying all over. They have schedules that are changed. They're on standby, etc. It was really difficult to book in second or third appointments, anything like that. So I knew I had to have a technique that could work in one session, albeit an hour and a half or two, but it would work in one session. So I started playing around with a lot of different NLP techniques. And I do have to say to you, none of these are new. They're ones that I've learned from different people, but it's the way I've put them together into a system that makes it work so well. And that's what I started to do. And I soon became the sort of broken heart expert. And I was even on Dubai TV, Studio One, on Saturday nights as the agony aunt, Dubai's agony aunt, where people were telephoning in or sending messages asking for advice on certain things. But this was way, way back before there was so much cable TV and influences as there are now. And I couldn't say things like on screen, things like boyfriend, girlfriend, sex, things like that. So I was a little bit uptight about that because I have to think about every word, which is not really me. And when I'm working with clients, I find it so easy to get into their language structure that was a bit hard. 2 years of doing that. And that's the backstory, really. So you're talking to Dubai's agony aunt.
I love that. I love that. And you help me, and I know you get a lot of calls from people, it's you have a wealth of knowledge, but the NLP techniques that you have brought together, and you're quite right, because it is a little bit of that and a little bit of that. And a lot of people know it, but it's the system. And then again, it's when the cutting of the cords and passing it back to them. And
this is kinesiology and energy work as well. But it's not just what you do whilst they're in hypnosis or in trance, whatever you want to call it these days. It's also very structured in the pre-talk. It's very important that they really want to. And it's quite important that you do get to the emotion. So have the tissues close by. You don't want them saying, yes, that's what I want. Yes, that's what I want. You do want to have some emotion, because when they have that emotion, it's very easy to say sleep and go into a rapid or instant induction, because they are already in that place.
Yeah.
So you need to bring that emotion up a little bit and not be, if you're going to do this work, not be afraid of emotion.
Oh, absolutely. No, I love it. If I get an emotion, it's like, oh, it's the gold. It's the gold as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So when I kind of got this persona as Dubai's agony aunt, and when I started presenting at the National Guild of Hypnotists, I think I did it at the British convention and at Hypno Thoughts and things. I did demonstrations, and every time I was doing demonstrations, bravo to the people who do volunteer to come up and to divulge some confidential information. But I'd also ask people who wanted to be anonymous to sit at the front or sit nearby and just tune in as I do the work. And some people said that worked as well, just sitting nearby. So what I usually do, especially in the Arab world, where confidentiality is so important, that often people don't even want to give you their telephone number or their email address or anything like that. So I always ask, well, just give me an initial for the person. I don't need the name. So, if it's John, just give me a J or a K or whatever. And that helps as well. So if somebody's listening in nearby, they can put whatever initial they want to into the process. And it's amazing. So the pre-talk, the 3 different techniques which are compounded within the session, and then at the end there must be testing, as you know, because you worked with me for a while. I always put the testing in at the end to make sure. So finding a spot in the distance and saying, say it out loud, because they're still in trance when people come out. They're still in trance. So now it's like a direct suggestion to self. I'm trying to feel the feeling I used to feel. Yeah. I'm trying to feel that feeling I came in with. And you can see the eyes, the derivational search. And I say, well, say that you really try. I'm really trying. I'm really trying. And then you get the laughter. And when you get the laughter, the cure has happened.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't believe it. They want to now do a second session to build up self-esteem, to make sure those patterns of behavior, because I'll often see what the pattern was while they're doing this process, and they'll come for a second session to make sure it never happens again, that they see those patterns.
Yes, because there's a reason why they might be having those relationships. Now, Beryl, you've actually, because when I did this course with you, I actually did it from online. You have this course available for anybody to do. It's on your website, isn't it?
So yes, that's because I was getting emails from people saying, oh, I was at the convention and I didn't go to your talk, but my friend said it was so amazing. Can I have the script? But it's more than a script. It's putting, as you know, I talk about ASK, ask, knowledge, skills, and attitude. It's putting your attitude into it. Okay. So, but I would send this a sort of script. It's not a script. It's an outline. As you know, it's what you do within that. It's not reading a script.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a process. So, and hey, why didn't they come to my talk? Well, because I'm giving all this stuff free. So I started recording some of the sessions with permission, of course, and I put that into an e-course that people can download. And that's in the shop on my www.berylcomar.com.
Yes, and we'll make sure that's in the comments as well. So it's and that's how I got the course. It's and as I say, it's I mean it's such a valuable thing to use, and there's little bits from it that I've then pulled into a lot of my other work, because I think, oh yes, that's good, just that nugget, and in with other sessions. So it's fantastic. Thank you.
Yes, this is particularly for a broken heart when you've kind of been dumped, but you can adapt it very easily when you're the dumpee. You dumped someone. But you can also use it for grief from losing a pet.
Yeah.
From working with somebody, I've got a funeral to attend, as I told you earlier today, on Wednesday. So there'll be a lot of grieving people. And if you do have anybody in grief, always use the NLP hand gesture where you have them, because people, when they're in grief, they look down. Look up how many flowers there are. Look at the colors. How wonderful life is. Life will change for you. It's changing now. Yeah. And take a deep breath. And it really helps. So I'll be doing a lot of surreptitious NLP on Wednesday at the funeral.
I'm sure. So it's within the course as well, just going back to that, you've got your videos, because I watched those several times actually, to make sure that I was getting the patter off, because it's when we're doing it with a session, we don't want to be stilted. It's like, it's good if it can just all come naturally. And once the person's in hypnosis anyway, if you do still need to follow the process, it's on the script, then you can, because their eyes are closed, and it's absolutely fine. So it's definitely worthwhile having as a great tool in your toolbox. I thoroughly recommend every therapist to have it. I really do.
Thank you. I've loved doing it so many times, and I do it online.
Yeah,
with people.
Oh, yeah.
And therapists are not immune to having a broken heart. No judgment here. Hey, as I say, I've had plenty myself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what makes you a wise old woman.
There you go. Yeah. Well, and we have to be able to have these things ourselves anyway, because how else can we understand that pain, Absolutely. That hurt, because it's another loss. It can make you feel completely bereft. And there is literally such a thing as a broken heart. You know, it is a true thing.
Yes, yes, there are people who've been married a long time. One partner dies in a couple of days or in weeks, they die too. But that's more than a broken heart. It's Hashimoto disease or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's yeah, it's difficult to pronounce. But that is a clinical definition. We're not working with the clinical work.
No,
it's very deep depression, and well, we can help if they want to, but for them, there is no, it's all beautiful and was wonderful, except there was no negative. So it's really difficult for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about bringing in the memories and the good memories and getting to that place quicker, as opposed to all the hurt and just keeping the memories.
As I say, it takes time for time to heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
or for life to build around the grief, you know, that's what I believe.
When your friends are saying it's time to get over that broken heart, it's time to move on, it's time to go see a hypnotherapist who's a broken heart expert.
Well, there you go. Yes. Love it. Okay, well, it's been wonderful talking to you about this, and I hope lots of people do engage with it. As I said, we'll put your website in the comments and things, so that people can get it themselves. And
we'll get 2 videos, the process and an audio.
Yeah, no, and as I say, I use it. It works.
It's the fee of one hypnosis session. That's all. So in one session, you've actually paid for the course. What a bargain!
Oh, it is. No, it was definitely a bargain. I was thoroughly pleased. So, okay. Well, anyway, goodbye, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, and thank you, Claudia. Have a lovely day.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye.